Hello everyone, it's Jeanette again from My Cottage Crafts. Today I'm working on my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. I think I just pinned everything onto the fabric in the last video I did, which was the first one for this month. I ended up, the fabric wasn't the right size, so I had to cut another piece of fabric. The other one will not go to waste. This one is 12 inches by 14 inches. I have marked off, once again, an inch border all the way around. And so basically, you know, that will not come right to the edge of the actual project bag. I added a couple of extra things. This little bit of ribbon scrap I put there. I also put this little checkered piece on as well. That's actually the wrong side of the fabric. It was a bit too bright, so I flipped it over. I'm not sure whether I added this little bit of lace down here as well. I went ahead and I overstitched, well, I've actually invisible basted everything on so that it wouldn't move around. And then I have overcast stitched this embroidery here and this one here, mainly because they frayed very quickly, and I thought if I left it too long it might affect the embroidery on them, so I went ahead and overcast stitched that. I also stitched the rickrack on as well. If you can, I'll bring it up so you can see what I've done there, and the overcasting of the embroidery. And that's pretty much all I've done. Oh no, I've blanket stitched around the ribbon as well, because the same sort of thing, the ends were starting to fray on this ribbon. So I've just blanket stitched across the bottom and the top, and I did a little running stitch right next to the edge as well. I'm pretty sure that's all I've done. So I thought today I would do some more work on it, and I've got to decide exactly what I want to do. I haven't picked it up since I did that. I've been working on my journals, which is all under this quilt, and now I've got to get my mind in the right frame, thinking what was I going to do. So it's just been folded up, just think. So I will do some more blanket stitching, I think, because it will put some of the edges down in place. I will do some cross stitching, probably on these stripy ones. I think that would be nice to do some cross stitching on those. Yes. Okay, we can start with that. And I don't want to just use the white crochet thread. I think I'll be using this one as well. I think that would be nice. I don't want it too long. Oh, I got some new scissors. Look at that. These little birch scissors. I went to Spotlight the other day and was looking for a little pair to put in my housewife. And I got these and thought, well, what I've done is I've put these here and put the ones I use here in the housewife for the time being. They're the same size. I just want to see how these work. These will be going into the housewife. They're still a little bit stiff, but they're nice and sharp. And I do like them because they're the black and the stainless steel. So that was nice. I didn't get a lot from Spotlight. I just got the scissors. I got some needles, mending needles. That's what I got, because I'm working on a project. I can't thread it. Let me concentrate. Might not be the right needle. The eye is far too small on that one. I'm working on a project on my lounge, my sofa, which is a very, very old sofa, and it was actually given to me in the first place by my youngest daughter's boyfriend at the time. His mother was getting rid of a lounge, asked if she knew of anyone who might want it, and we needed a lounge at that particular time, so I grabbed it, and I've sort of had it ever since, and that's probably about 9 years now. And it's a little bit worse for wear with cats, and anybody with cats will know exactly what I'm talking about. They scratch the furniture. At least one cat does. One cat does. She just thinks she's allowed to. As soon as you walk out of the room, even though we have a scratching pole, she seems to think she's allowed to. But she's not. But she's made a terrible mess over the years. And there's only so many blankets you can throw on a lounge before it starts looking like a pile of washing. So I was talking to my daughters, and they said, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Now I don't even know where I'm up to. What I was saying, oh yes, so the lounge. So they were showing me some pictures of people with their patching. What's that thing? TikTok? I don't normally look at TikTok, but they were showing me how people had put appliques and flowers and things like that on their lounge to cover up these things. So it got my brain working, and I thought, oh, I can do that. So that's another project I'm working on in the back. And so that's quite exciting, because I thought to myself, well, if it doesn't work, it's okay, because the lounge needs replacing anyway. You know what I mean? The lounge needs replacing. So if it looks horrible, it looks horrible anyway. But if it ends up looking good, it might sort of be okay for a little while. Now, what am I doing? I've just put that in. No, I want it. Do I want it there? I might want it a bit further out, actually. Oh, see, too busy talking. I just flinged my needle. Oh my goodness, I just flung my needle across the room. Oh goodness. I'm not going to go rifling around for that. Let's see what other needles we've got here. That one might be all right. You can tell this wasn't pre-planned, can't you? Yes, and so I needed to get mending needles from Spotlight to do that, to stitch into the lounge, because you need the curved needle to do that, because it's not like you can get your hand behind it or anything. So, okay, let me concentrate. What am I doing? I want it to sort of enclose the edge of that, I think. So we might start it over here a bit and see. We can always take it out if it doesn't look the way I want it to. So quite a big one. We'll do that. So I got a bit of blue fabric to match. One, two there. To match my lounge. I already had floral fabric because I had made some cushion covers quite a while ago, and I'd bought some nice, it's like a chinoiserie type of fabric. So I cut some of those out to try that and just sort of place them on the lounge to see what they might look like. And they look quite nice. I sent the girls a picture and they thought it looked nice, so it's nice to have a second opinion. But now I've got to sort of get my head around, how am I going to do this? Like, it's not like I can go laying all over the lounge room floor stitching, because I'll never get up. I'm not 24 anymore. And they suggested gluing it, and I thought, oh, I don't know. But I thought, well, maybe I can do a mixture of both. Maybe I can stitch all around the pieces and then glue it on, but then also, you know, attach a little bit of, like, not decorative stitching, but just to make it more secure around the edges. So I don't know, but in the process of thinking about that, I was sort of itching to sew something then, so I ended up making a heater cover for my heater, like a dust cover for my heater, out of an old, well, it wasn't old, out of a tablecloth that I got from Temu at some stage. And so I used that and cut that up because it needed to have a good amount of fabric. And then I put some batting in it and made myself a heater cover, so all was not lost. Okay. So I've done it along the edge there in the hope that it will, you know, keep the edge in check. I'm not going to be rough with these. They're just going to be like stacked together or something. Because it's on the outside and on the back, I don't want the fabric fraying away too quickly. Yes, so that was my Saturday morning. Was it Saturday morning? Sunday morning? Saturday? No, it was a bit of both, actually. I was playing around with it on Saturday morning, and I went to the Spotlight on Sunday. Even my mum, I showed my mum the picture of the flowers on the lounge too, and she thought it looked quite all right. Looked better than what it did with the cat scratching, so I might put a picture up. I don't know, I get a bit embarrassed about things like that sometimes, you know, because it's like a... So that was that. But my husband even said it looked okay, and he rarely says anything like that. He does like the heater cover as well. So unless he's going a bit strange in his old age, because he rarely compliments things like that. So, okay, that's all right, isn't it? Like that. Yeah. That's okay, and I'll come down here and do a bit down here. It's only going to be a couple. Oh gosh, that one's going to be under there somewhere. Okay, we'll just bring it out under there. Okay. Like that. And then, oh, sorry if I bumped you. And then I'll just do a little blanket stitch up the side here to preserve that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's that on there. Now what? I have this one over here. I can do the same on there, but I can do that. What else can we do? That one needs something because that's starting to fray. It's not actually ribbon, it's just a little piece of fabric that I've cut up, and it just looks like ribbon. I might use embroidery thread. Oh my goodness. That's I usually use the crochet. I got myself from the op shop. I called in the op shop and found a few things. I don't go very often anymore, but I found a folder for all these embroidery flosses that I got. So I'm just thinking if there's a nice tealy colour in here that might go. That one might go. See, there's like a bluey green colour, unless there's a darker one, but that one may work. Let me just look. It makes it so much easier having them in a folder. No, that's it. So I'll use that one. I'll go with that one. And use a bit of colour, shall we? So yes, I've got a folder for all the lovely threads that I found. So it's easy for me to look through now. So I'll use a bit of this. I got the hiccups. I'm sorry if you can hear that. And they're in no particular order because I don't go by numbers or anything. Okay, I'm using 3 strands. Let's see if we can use this needle for this. Right, so I was going to go around here, and I think that will be blanket stitch as well because I don't want it fraying away. There will be quite a bit of blanket stitch, I think, but I'll do a little bit of running stitch and French knots. And what else will I do? So look at that, it's fraying. I just have to tidy it up a little. don't see. That's better. There we go. Okay. There. Yeah. And whatever else I think of. Ooh, this is nice and sharp, this needle, so that's nice. It's a new one. It's always nice to get out a new needle. Alright, so blanket stitch around this piece here. I might use this thread to also go around this one here, down there. See what that looks like. And then I'll come back, because you really don't need to see me doing all that. And it's probably better if I concentrate. Yeah. Okay, I'll go and do that. Okay, so that's done. I did the blanket stitch around here in the teal colour. I did the cross stitch on here, but this little side was a bit narrow, so I did blanket stitch around that side and down there. I need to do something about all these little edges. I have a habit of making the pieces a bit too small when I'm layering them. I need to be a bit more generous in future, I think. It's okay. So what I thought was I may just do some running stitches across this one across here, this one here, and I might do a seed stitch on that one. And maybe on the blue. I wonder, maybe I'll do the white on the blue, and I'll do maybe I can do a blue on the white. Huh. Okay, so I shall just start. I'm going to start off of the blue and just do a running stitch or borrow stitch, camphor stitch. I've got it. Something on the needle just keeps catching a little bit. Okay, so I managed to go crooked as soon as I started. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Like, it doesn't need to be exact, but it's on an angle. Okay, alright, let's try that again. Okay, let's get it straight. That's a bit better. Okay, so a running stitch across this blue linen. Like that. Oh, I need to have it up here so I can see what I'm doing, because I keep going crooked. It's because I'm doing it more for the camera than for myself. So what I'm going to do, it's just a running stitch. I'm going to go over the blue in it and then find a blue. Didn't get that. Find a blue, a light blue, I'm thinking. Let's have a look. Where did I get that one from? They're not in any particular order, so it doesn't matter. I think I got it in there, actually. So a really pale blue would be pretty, wouldn't it? That's a really one. That's a really nice one there. Oh, which one? That one. See that? That's almost identical to that. So we'll go with that. And that can go over the white. That'll add some colour to it. So running stitch it is. I will go ahead and do that and concentrate a little bit more, and then I'll come back and show you. I'll probably do it in different directions as well. Alright then, so I started the straight stitch. I've done all the white straight stitch on the blue, and then I did the blue on the white, and here, and here. And then I had thread left in my needle, so I blanket stitched with blue around this one, and then I did this little bit here, and this one over here. I couched my laces on properly, so they're not just basted on now, they're properly couched down. What else did I do? I blanket stitched around this ribbon. And, oh, I seed stitched. I seed stitched all around here and just sort of coming off the edge around there as well. I think that's all I've done, which is quite a lot actually. What I was thinking, so I basically have this little checkered one and blue one here to stitch down, the blue one here, and the blue one here. I might put a little bit of gold in the center of this, or lighter blue. It just seems a bit dark. But what I might do little French knots or colonial knots on these, and then just overcast the edges roughly in a shabby way. I'm just wondering, because that's going to, so there's not a lot of stitching to do. That's going to go like that. And like that. But there's also, oh no, that's going to go like that. And it's also going to go like, where is it, there? And there. Oh, okay. I was wondering whether there was going to be a huge amount of space. There's a little bit down the bottom. What about here? Where's here? There. And there. And something like that as well. So like that, that's what it will look like. I think that's quite nice. I could do some daisy stitches down here, which I might do. Maybe one up here, maybe one over here. I might do them in this colour. I wonder if I've got that colour. Let's have a look. While I'm thinking about it, I'll just put this pretty blue one back. Where did it come from? Yeah. Oh look, is that the colour? That's pretty close, isn't it? It is. Alright, we'll go with that. That way it won't, because there's the other one as well, but I think that's probably just a little bit too wishy-washy. I do want it to stand out a little bit. So daisy stitch, perhaps with there's yellow there, but there's orange here, so maybe a gold, and I can use the same gold in the center here as well, if I've got one here. I don't want too bright. That's more of a yellow. It's quite pretty though. Sorry, you can't see this. I'm just looking for a goldy colour. Is that too bright? I might just go with that. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any better. Oh, hang on, I will get better. Oh, look at this. This is like a real gold. So we'll go with that one, I think. That one might look nice. It's just a little bit more gold than yellow, isn't it? Yes. Okay. So I'll do some little daisy stitches with that and finish off the blues. And I'll come and show you that. I mean, I'll show you how to do a daisy stitch. I've got to go and have some lunch. I'm getting hungry and my hand hurts a little bit. So I'll come back and I'll just show you the daisy stitch. Okay, I've done these daisy stitches. I've just got one more to do over there. I wanted them the same size, and my daisy stitches don't always turn out the same size. They're a bit skewy sometimes. So I thought I just drew little dots on a piece of cardstock, and then I pushed my awl through it like that, and then I've just put that down and used that as a template. So they're about the same size. So anybody who has that problem like I have of them being a bit skewy, that probably works quite well. And I only did that quickly. A bit of guesswork. I can see it could have been better, but I'm happy with it. It makes my life a bit easier. Now this thread is only two pieces of thread thick, whereas these ones were 3, and I didn't realize that when I did this one up here. So what I did with this one was I just added a little stitch in between just to fill it out a little bit more. So daisy stitches, you probably all know how to do it if you're slow stitching, but I'll just show you quickly. You come up in the center there. This is a bit curly, this thread. I perhaps shouldn't have used it. It was wrapped around here. Okay, come up in the center, pull your yarn to one side, come back, go back down right next to where you came up, and then I've got a little dot there, so I'm coming up on the dot like that. My yarn is behind my needle. Pull it, but not too tight, and then take that back through. It's coming up on this side of the thread, so you want to put a stitch over the thread and take it back down and catch it that way, like that. And then you just keep doing that all the way around until you've got a little daisy stitch. And in this instance, I will put a little stitch in between each petal as well, because there's only 2 threads on this flower. It just doesn't seem very full. So like that, and then down. And then I'm going to go and have some lunch. So that's probably it for this video now. Over the week I may get time or chance to finish the stitching off on the blue bits, which is what I would like to do. Had there been a little bit more room around the border, I may have done like a wavy, oh, I've got a bit of a tangle, oh no, no, a wavy vine around it, but in places there just didn't seem to be enough room to do that, so I'm not going to do that. So that's my daisy stitch, and now what I'm going to do is just come down a little bit, and in between each of these petals I'm just going to do a long stitch to the center, and then in between each one, just to fill it out a little bit so it doesn't look too like a flimsy flower. And there we go. Whoops, hang on. Yeah. There we go. Like that. That last one probably needs to be a little bit longer, I think. It's got to come there. Okay, done. That part's done. Oh, I've got the hiccups again. Then I'll put some sort of gold knot in the center as well. So there we are. That's what I'm doing for today. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.